Throughout an individual's life, there are significant events, you know, those wonder-filled moments that we just have to capture on film so we can remember them for a lifetime. For instance, at most weddings, there is a photographer that's present a few hours before the service, taking pictures through the church, of the couple, the family, wherever. Then the photographer is there snapping the photographs as the bride and the party come down the aisle. And then there is the reception afterwards, and when the bridal party and groom's parties enter into the reception area, tons of photographs are snapped. There's birthday parties and graduation parties. There's anniversaries. There's Eagle Scout Court of Honors. There's retirement celebrations and baptisms and sporting events and vacations. These are all times when we want to get every moment captured on film so it will last. And you are either the person taking the picture or you are the victim of the picture, even if you didn't want to have your picture taken. If you watch the Super Bowl tonight and look into the crowd, you'll probably see a lot of flashes or cameras taking, the spectators taking pictures, or news crews working the sidelines of this big event. We want those big moments captured on film, any major event, because we want to say, we were there. We were there. This event will never happen again. And it was amazing. It was transformative. It was once in a lifetime. And we just want those events to last. As people of faith, we desire a clear picture of God, and we want tangible evidence that God is real and present in our lives. And so sometimes we long for those sacred encounters. If I could only just see Jesus one time in my life. Those visions have been written about and talked about, and other people have had them, and so why can't we experience those mountaintop occasions with just a glimmer of Christ, the one that we are called to follow. For some who have had these visions, they've been game changers. They've been life-changing experiences that have turned people from one path to another path in life. A path from destruction to a path of freedom and deliverance. And so it's great for people to have these life-changing encounters with the holy. In today's lesson from the Gospel of Luke in chapter 9, verses 28 through 36, in which Shelby just read to you, we are treated to a vision of glory, a sacred encounter, a transforming moment, a revelation of God in the person of Jesus, and we call it the Transfiguration story. Is the photographer for this event, because Luke is the one that captures the moment for us. The Transfiguration is the story of God appearing in dazzling displays of light and radiance and glory in the face of Jesus, and it is a transforming moment for three of his disciples who have journeyed with Jesus up a mountain to pray. Peter, James, and John, three of the closest of Jesus' disciples, are taken up a mountain. In the Bible, mountains function as places of revelation. They are places of encounter with God. In the first lesson from Exodus, Moses encounters God on Mount Sinai. You know, that holy mountain. And Moses' face shines with the glory of God after he receives the Ten Commandments. And then Moses' brother, Aaron, and all the people saw Moses' face shining in glory, and they knew that for a time Moses had had an encounter with the sacred. I'm sure you've had those transforming moments in your lives. Maybe they've been on a mountaintop, but maybe they've been in a very different landscape. Moments of encounter with God where God's presence is reflected in the beauty of all that is around you in that holy place. And sometimes that experience is so overwhelming that all you can do is get down on your knees and pray because you have no words to describe that experience. You want that moment to last, but the moment fades. On the mountain, Jesus is transfigured before his disciples. And Luke writes about a cloud and a dazzling white lights and clothes. These are all biblical ways of describing a sacred encounter. They recognize Jesus in this experience as who he says he is, God's beloved, God's chosen. And then there's that voice from a cloud, once again, that we heard at Jesus' baptism that says, "This is my Son, the beloved, listen to him," as if they hadn't been listening all along. These words that were spoken at Jesus' baptism, "This is my Son, the beloved, listen to him," are now spoken at a critical juncture in Jesus' life. If Jesus and his disciples could have stayed on a holy mountain forever, but no. We have to come down from our mountaintop experiences to the routines of life. And sometimes those routines of life are hard and risky. They're challenging. We don't want to face the next day because we simply feel that there are too many odds stacked against us at school, at work, at home. So we would rather stay in a hospital bed or in a recovery center because life is too darn hard. The mountaintop experience is a turning point in Jesus' life because it serves as a conclusion to his ministry in Galilee. In verse 31, Moses and Elijah, two of the greatest heroes in Israel's history, are with Jesus, and they are discussing his departure or exodus. The word means the same. And from now on, Jesus will set his face to Jerusalem. It's a preview of his passion and death on the cross, but more importantly, it's a preview of his resurrection and glory, because death will not have the final word in Jesus' life. Years later, Peter wrote to the churches of Asia Minor to give them encouragement in the face of the persecutions they were facing, because they had to worship and serve in the confines of their shops and their homes. And Peter recalls this event on the mountain with Jesus. It's recorded in 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 17 through 18. Peter says, "For he received honor and glory from God that when that voice was conveyed to him by the majestic glory," as Peter describes it, saying, "This is my Son, the beloved, with whom I am well pleased." We ourselves heard this voice come from heaven while we were with him on that holy mountain. We need those moments in our lives when we catch a glimpse of God shining on our human journey, because our human journeys can be long and tedious and challenging. We need them as individuals, but we also need them collectively as church. Sometimes God comes to us in a mountaintop experience, transforming our lives into something new. And you've had those moments, transforming moments of insight and vision, special times when something's really inspired you. Perhaps it's nothing more than a spectacular, breathtaking view, and you thought to yourself, man, God must be in this place. These moments are temporary. God moments don't last. They last just long enough for us to be inspired by them as they soon fade into the ordinary, challenging routines of daily life. So church, here on this Transfiguration Sunday, we celebrate the big event, the experience of Jesus' transfiguration on the mountaintop with Peter, James, and John. It's a special moment in their journey, and it's a special moment in our lives as well, because on Wednesday, we will come down from the mountain, and we will enter that 40-day, tedious, challenging season we call Lent. But today, shine. Shine, people of God. Shine with the glory of God in your face as beloved creatures of God. Hear that voice from above saying to you, you are my beloved. With you I am well pleased. Become aware of Christ's light illuminating your mind and your heart, awakening your spirit and your soul, filling your body from head to toe. Experience yourself as a reflection of God's holy light that flows through you. Because, church, we were all meant to shine. We were born to make manifest that glorious light of creation, that glorious spark birthed at the moment of that Big Bang or creation, however you prefer to think of it. It is the God vision. It is the God image. Not up there somewhere, not out there somewhere, that image, that light, that holy spark is within you. Cool. I hear a voice. From heaven, I believe. Perhaps there's a cloud outside. So, church, from sleepy disciples to courageous leaders, from ordinary church members to living images of Jesus Christ, we are called up the mountains, and then we are called back down to the valleys to serve others and to sacrifice ourselves in order that the world might be transformed by our living in it, that our world might be healed of the violence and tragedy that overcomes it, that our world will experience the light of God and be made whole. People of God, let us be about the light of God and the work of Christ. We invite you to become a member of this community who seeks to share the light within to others in the whole community. We open our doors to scouts and to women and to AA groups. We open our doors to those who seek to come here for food or counsel or prayer. Let us take church with us as we go this day.